Hello ladies and gentlemen, we are going in to map number 1 very shortly. We are here with FlipSid versus Escape, and well, I think this is going to be a pretty good one. Just quickly, I'm going to bring you up a little bit of the betting predictions if everything works properly. Just gotta wait for that little red square in the bottom corner to go away, and then everything will be dandy. Here we go. So firstly, obviously, just talking about a little bit what EGB has to say. They do have it as a fairly close series. I would consider it that sort of start myself. I think CSGO Lounge is in a similar sort of area again, 54 to 46. These teams, for me anyway, it's just a very interesting matchup, especially when you look at the maps that have actually come out, as Coast Fan has just posted in the chat. Cobble, Mirage, Overpass, 3 maps that both of these teams can play very, very well. And I'm not even sure who I want to favour in this one. I really have absolutely no idea. Just looking at past results, we've seen, I think, the last 3 maps, they've all gone to overtime, I think. Apart from Inferno, which isn't in the map pool anyway. So we wouldn't be seeing that one. That was actually banned out by FlipSid. But just the idea of how close these guys actually are. And to be honest, I have to say, it's rather you guys than me in many of these scenarios. I'm not sure who I would honestly bet on in this scenario. But, well, I do think it's going to be a very interesting matchup. It will come down to individuals, definitely. I think individuals will take the toll in this map. Whether we can see players step up, such as Markelov, WorldEdit, the AWP is going to come in a huge factor. Look at the 3 maps that have come in. Let's be honest. We have got Cobblestone, one of the greatest AWP maps there is in the game at the moment, especially on that CT side. Just absolutely beautiful. We love that AWP. Then, coming in after that, we have Mirage. Now, I don't know about you, but you've got the window. You can boost into, or run into Palace. You can AWP from B into the apartments. You just got to think about all these positions. Obviously, you can push short, and you can push in. Yeah, ignore the warm-up. That is just until guys click ready. Like, once they type ready, it will go down to about 10 seconds. So don't worry about the warm-up time. But, yeah, just talking about... And then the final map, obviously, we have Overpass. And I'm just loving it. I'm just loving the look of all 3 of these maps. Just looking who actually picked each map. I'll quickly scroll up in my little chat for you guys, just so I can find out. So, don't ignore the lag for a second. FlipSid picked Cobble. Second was Escape, picking Mirage. And then, after that, Overpass was the last map remaining. And I can't say I'm surprised by this whatsoever. We've had... The only real upsets we've had between these guys is when one of the maps that one of them may have been overconfident on, or something along those times, or along those lines. And then one of them dominated. Like, we saw Inferno get through. And actually, I think it was Escape won it quite convincingly. So, it is definitely points where this should, when you look at the matchup, this should be a very close game. You also look at Escape's form under this new organisation. Obviously, before this, they were the Orgless guys. And now, with an Org, they're called Escape. So, they escaped the Orgless motion. But I'm just going to talk through the knife. Nobody casts a knife. But the idea is that since they've had this lineup, I think they've lost 1 map. And they've won every single best of 3 they've played. So they haven't lost a series. I think that's the best way of putting it. Since they've joined the new roster. Obviously, looking at FlipSid, I feel like their data is slightly skewed. Because you look at the teams that have been faced. Like, they're good teams like Hellraisers from Escape. You come up with teams like Method. But then you look at who FlipSid have been facing. It's NIP, Dignitas. I think, who else was in the mix? They faced some very good teams. There was that Mouse Sports game that went to like 60 rounds or something along those lines. So it's sort of skewed by the data, the fact that they were in the major and they were coming up against the very best teams in the world. So to look at their recent like statistics and stuff, I feel it's a little bit harsh. I have to talk about the idea of, oh yeah, come on guys, how can you really say that, oh yeah, FlipSid are the underdogs in this game based on recent form, when actually it's just problematic. So, you know, I would say it's not really fair to sort of judge them on their previous results, except against this team. And against this team, it's been impossible to call. Like, I think 2 of the 3 maps at least went to overtime the last few times they played. So it's sort of like those any map that goes to overtime, either if it is a massive half from one of the teams' mistakes, or it's just going backwards and forwards all the way along. And as said, we're really looking for the stars to step up in this game. Obviously, DeadFox is the one that actually has been highlighted by HLTV. So, I don't know, take what you want from that. Doesn't mean HLTV are always right, of course, but he is obviously a brilliant player who's come into this lineup. And, well, he's been great. And then, obviously, looking at the other lineup, you've just got players who, well, Shara, you saw him at, well, I think it was major qualifiers more than the actual major, just came out of nowhere. Like, he was sort of, I remember casting him before, and I was saying, this player, he added to the team. I can't say I knew particularly a lot about him. I saw him come in, I was thinking, okay, is this just going to be another sort of player in this lineup that won't really perform? A bit like DeadFox, and in the end, they'll just end up replacing him and keeping their core of 4. And instead, he's come out into those qualifiers, and it's just been like, oh, wow. He's actually very, very good. So, if he steps up Blade, he had a brilliant time during the qualifiers and at the major itself. But anyway, guys, we are going into the first round. This is the first map. This is Cobblestone. After this, we'll have Mirage, and if needed, we will have Overpass. And as you can see already, we have Slap picking up the utility for the terrorist side. Blade will do the same for the CTs. And, well, apart from that, we've just got all Kevlar going in. It is going to be a stack towards the B side. Quite common in these initial rounds. It's something you do see from a lot of the teams, just to make sure that everybody's there. And Shara's actually taken the silencer off his USP. Each to their own. Each to their own, I guess. But a little bit of a jumping shot coming in. Not going to spy anything just yet. BARBARR. Actually, wait, they're boosting. Never mind. I thought that was a pretty big jump. It's like the Kobe jump now. But we're going to be seeing the push. I imagine a drop-down rush will be coming in here. They're just baiting these players over. And it could be actually a split towards one of the sides. We're actually going to see Markelov, bondik, WorldEdit find 3 kills. maeVe's going to go down by Blade as well. And this pistol round has gone... Whoa. In a flash. That was over before it really began. We saw the push coming in. Initial damage was done. And that was just it. FlipSid just took the round, absolutely dominating. And, whoa. Now we have to talk about the side. I haven't actually had the chance to really talk about the map itself. I still consider this map to be very T-sided. Well, not very T-sided, but in the terms of the map pool, you'd say, oh yeah, that's pretty T-sided when you look at maps like Inferno, Chain, Overpass. You'd say, yeah, you know what? Out of all the maps, this is probably the most T-sided, or one of them anyway, in the game. Dust 2 and Cash sort of now creeping in behind, but let's see whether or not this will be the case, because some teams just seem to pull out ridiculous CT halves. We're going to see Blade finding the entry kill. Flashy going to quickly find one back, though. This will be the push onto long A. We're going to see maeVe picking up another one. This is, of course, the force spike coming in from the terrorist side. Expected when they did just lose that round. There was no bomb plant. There's no chance for them to get AKs, but Markelov, he's holding the cross. bondik finds another one. maeVe and Flashy. maeVe managing to pick up a UMP, but again, he's up against the rifles. It is still it's got great damage and armor penetration on that weapon. Does make it plausible in these buy rounds, but the bomb is in an absolutely horrific position. And from a quick 4 versus 3 down to a 3 versus 2, it does leave them in a bit of a tricky situation here. Obviously, any kill with the UMP will give a little bit of a bonus. And, oh yeah, we don't have the, There we go. There we go. Turn on X-ray. Don't worry, guys. I'm paying attention. Shh. I was just giving you a glimpse into what the game would normally be like, you know? That was totally intentional. Yeah, just loaded a config, that's why. I loaded a config. But maeVe's going to be the last one standing. And, yeah. Does hit the dig. Does hit the dig. He makes it a little bit interesting at the end, but that's all that's going to happen. And that will be round number 2 going to FlipSid. They keep both their rifles standing. Shara also getting a little bit of extra cash. And I can't imagine we'll be seeing anything really going into this round, except maybe BARBARR doing a little bit of juggling with his pistol. So he's actually lost it, but never mind. We're going to be seeing literally just one flashbang, not a real investment at all. I do like the fact that the investment was a grenade, so they're not going to be going for any sort of, oh yeah, let's just aim duel these rifles, these SMGs. It's not going to happen, so they're going to go for a pot flash somewhere along the line. Shara actually intent. He's very, very keen on taking the silencer off that, but it's not going to matter if he just keeps spraying them down. That's 1,800 in the banks for him. WorldEdit will get a little bit of cash added on, but I imagine we'll be seeing, well, WorldEdit goes onto the AWP. That's understandable. That does mean that one of the SMGs is gone, but I wouldn't be too surprised to see the other 2 keep them. Really, the UMP has just become one of those weapons where a lot of the players are willing to just play with it now. Like, you see Flusher do it all the time. In fact, the Ukrainian teams are actually some of the, or CIS teams, I should say, some of the teams that do just love to do this, but they're now coming up against 5 AKs. Quite a decent amount of nades actually coming in for the escape, guys. But, well, this is sort of the bonus round, as the PGL guys like to call it, or the Jaden round, if you're going to go with that. But this is where they can afford to make that little bit of extra money and still have the money to buy back up in the next round. You also have the AWP of WorldEdit, which will be holding down B quite effectively. Blade also, are they going to boost up? Making quite a bit of sound there. There will be some knowledge of them being here, but using the boost position. It is a nice little boost, but it can be very easy to get caught out. WorldEdit, he has to be careful here, but if they push through to try and get him, Blade could punish them, but it's very easy for him to get caught out here, and I think that may be about to happen, although that flash could just about save him. Blade, he's going to have to move at some point. Try and give his teammate a little bit of a chance, and instead WorldEdit's going to go down, and maeVe's going to take a double kill. A great entry into this round. Shara going to try and compensate for that, but only having the ump, he's only going to manage to fire one. And now, well, this is looking a pretty bleak situation. It's going to be down to bondik. maeVe is low. If he can take him down, DeadFox has the AWP. Going to be throwing that flash. He's got to watch out, though. There are people coming in from all angles, and I feel like it may just be down to Markelov saving unless we can see something incredible from bondik, and that is not going to happen. They can still buy in the next round. As said, this was the bonus round. Markelov at least going to drop the bomb. Still a chance. If anybody could do it, it would be Markelov, the clutch king for the FlipSid team, unless of course WorldEdit's just going ham with the AWP. Then he may take that mantle a little bit, but at the moment it is going to be all down to Markelov. He's in a 1v2. I feel like this would be a silly situation to be lost, and in the end, Flashy taking a bit of damage in the end, but he's not going to mind. He's going to win out that round, and that's the 3-1. And, well, actually, WorldEdit, after buying that AWP, is going to be struggling a little bit, but I imagine Shara will be able to drop him something here for him to play with 11 grand in the bank. Actually going to drop him straight an AWP. So, heavy investment coming in for the FlipSid boys. Going to be going all out for this one. Here we go. It looks like my mic might be having a little bit of trouble, so possibly in a moment I will just have to reset a couple of things. Unfortunately, with the Razer Siren, it comes with this nice little idea that when you unplug it, it actually crashes some of your systems, so I will do that at the best opportunity, possibly if we see a pause coming in. But anyway, as said, the buy is going to be coming in for the T side, or the CT side I should say. The T's have actually been forced down to Galil onto maeVe. They did save the AWP in the last round, so DeadFox is going to be playing with that. Will have the challenge of Markelov if he does decide to go towards the A site, and that is where he currently resides. But at the moment it looks like just playing slow, waiting for any aggression to come out from the CT side. Obviously, due to that huge amount of money made from the SMGs, they are still buying quite comfortably in this one, the CT side. But there we go. Shara going to be Molotov'd out. A nice kill coming out from Slap. And now we're going to have to see whether or not the CTs can try and bring this one back. It is going to be a 3-1 situation. Here we go. Markelov looking towards the plat area. Needs to find a kill, and he does. That slap down takes very little HP, but what you have to remember is only one more player there. Blade, he's going to be low on HP. The smoke, however, will save him for a few seconds, but he needs someone to come in from the CTs to try and help him out, and I feel like he's absolutely stuffed in this scenario. Going to pick up the M4, gives him a little bit of extra bullets to play with over the Galil. Let's see if he can actually find this kill. We do still have WorldEdit with the AWP. A nice boost comes in, and that's a great kill from maeVe. And, well, this isn't a good situation now for the CT side. They have a little bit of money left to spare, but I feel like the save could be ideal in the scenario. As said, they're going to gain themselves 1900. That money should allow for Shara to buy something. bondik could also drop... Well, actually, you can't even drop FAMAS in this scenario, but I'm going to quickly try and just restart things. This probably will crash, so we may miss a round, but I feel like it is necessary in this scenario. So just give me one moment, please, guys. That didn't actually reset my sound, so I imagine that means it hasn't actually affected the stream whatsoever, but just give it a moment. If that hasn't worked, I will have to try it again, but this is just not even a force buy coming out at the moment from the CT side. They've got the AWP, Markelov's got the M4, but nothing too major in this scenario. They're not going to be able to do too much. You will have to let me know, but I imagine it may go wrong again. We'll see what happens. As said, it's going to be WorldEdit, Slap, and Markelov finding the kills. bondik actually finds another one, and this is unfortunate at the moment. There's still the 2 rifles in play, actually, so this is a great chance for the CT side to actually find a round out of one that they probably shouldn't have. The T's making mistakes in this scenario. Markelov going to be pushing in. BARBARR actually going to get taken down as well. And now DeadFox is in a 1 versus 3. He does have the AWP, but Markelov holding the angle with the M4. bondik also going close. And this is going to be real problematic. And actually, I feel like he screwed in this scenario. Markelov going to take this one down. Okay, it looks like some of you saying the sound's alright. So hopefully I won't have to restart it. Possibly in between the maps I'll restart it anyway, just to make sure there's no problems with the sound. As said, don't want to have any crackling. I need to actually talk to the guys at Razer about this, because I don't know if this is an ongoing problem, because my friend actually has the same mic and it does the same thing. So intriguing to say the least, but that win actually works out very, very well for FlipSid. They win off only having 2 rifles, a few pistols to boot, and because of it, they've actually reset the economy, found themselves, well, at least 1 rifle, you can see from the AK on Blade, and only pistols left. 1 flashbang left in the hands, and it looks like this is going to be a straight up B rush. The flashbang does completely blind Shara, but they don't spot him. BARBARR, none of them checking that corner, and wow, Shara's just got absolutely ham. Going to be all down to 1. Flashy gets taken down, and well, the flashbang was perfect. Shara was completely blind, but in the end, he just gets a nice easy spray. Markelov takes down 1, and then 1 player just jumps into his crosshair. So yeah, that didn't go very well. So anyway, we're going to be seeing a 5-2 situation. The AWP back onto DeadFox, but it is a glass cannon one. Hasn't had too much of an impact yet in this game, and he is one of the players that, well, many of you mentioned in the chat. I mentioned at the beginning, if he needs to step up if this series is going to go the way of Escape. Obviously, it's not complete carry, but if you have one player who's just not showing up, he has had the AWP on a couple of occasions now, and, well, the first kill actually goes to the Flames. WorldEdit will find another one, however, maeVe quickly trays one back, but DeadFox, again, not going to have any impact in this round. It's going to be down to his teammates to try and bring this one through. We're going to be seeing the smoke thrown out as well, and it looks like they're just going to go pushing through it. This does mean that Shara is going to... Oh, no. They're going to actually slow down. It looked like they were going to go backwards into it, but they changed their mind. And, well, now he's in a nice position. The flashbang going to work perfectly, but again, he's turned away from it, and the smoke going to be laid down. So, a minute left on the clock. Still plenty of time for them to play with. And, well, Shara gets saved just by the last seconds of that smoke. He will go down. Markelov finds 1 in return, though, so it is still a 3 versus 2. A lot for the Escape Gaming guys to do now, especially with Markelov finding that kill. Now WorldEdit watching from the backward position. There's no way they're going to be having that kill. Easy for WorldEdit. You don't want to hand this guy kills on a platter. He's going to take them from you anyway. And, well, at the moment, it's Markelov 12-1. There's no way they're shutting this guy down at the moment. 6-2. And, well, don't forget, guys, if you do like anything you can see, you can use the new live cap thing, which will take back 60 seconds, and then you can screenshot it. Woo! Thank you, sponsors. Hashtag sellout. But here we go. We're going to be seeing the CTs again. They're playing this sort of similar setup all the way along. We haven't seen anybody boosted onto the tree position yet. And this is probably one of my favorite positions, because unless you specifically target it with a Molotov, it's actually really difficult to hold against it. You have to pretty much pre-aim it. And if you're pushing out plat, there's normally a smoke in the way. If you're pre-aiming up at a tree, there's so many other positions that could kill you. So it's sort of one of those, I'd say one of those rounds where you just throw it in if things aren't going too well. I suppose for FlipSid at the moment, they're currently with a 3-round streak after losing a couple to the initial buy from the T's. The mistakes were sort of made, and then they managed to just revive it with very, very little in the next round. But here we go. It looks like we're going to be seeing a pistol play towards drop yet again. This is quite a common strategy, and it does, to be fair, work on quite a few occasions where you actually just see players, okay, I'm just going to run straight in, let's see what they can do. But, well, so far, it looks like they were going to attempt to split onto the A site. And, well, it's going to be very, very difficult for them, especially now that the bomb has been spotted. One player going to be going into B as well. Slap going to get caught out, and in the end, it's just a nice, easy clean-up for FlipSid. Another round to add to their 7 collection, and if you look at their bank as well, it's just getting to a point where Markelov, he has died once in this game, and I think that was in the round where they actually, I think that was this, well, it must have been this round, right? No. Yeah, this round where all the CTs died, and then in this one he saved. So, yeah, he's actually only died once in the whole game. That was the one round that they lost with every single player dying. And since then, he's just been wrecking face. So, going to be seeing a boost coming up. This time it's actually BARBARR on the AWP glass cannon. So DeadFox not taking that one at the moment. Switching things up. Let's see if that actually makes any real effect. It could have been down to position, but I don't think so at this point. He would have thrown it back if you were planning on letting DeadFox keep that AWP. Hot flash coming out from Shara. He is one of those players that I actually really enjoy watching around the plat position. My favorite player used to be Pasha using the shotgun. I don't think he's quite on the level that he used to be where, well, there were points where he could have been named the best player in the world. I wouldn't say he's anywhere near that now, but just around this position where you see Shara playing, it's just absolutely wonderful. And even when he gets tagged down, he finds himself a kill. Evidently, it has been traded in this scenario, but he's definitely one of the better players around the plat area. Obviously, when you put Guardian over towards the statue, that's a little bit different. Obviously, beating Guardian on Cobble, not the easiest thing in the world to do, but bondik, WorldEdit, they're just finding kills at the moment. A lot of these, they're not particularly difficult kills, and you're actually watching, it seems like the tactics at the moment from Escape are a little bit over the top. Like, they're sending players towards A to try and fake while the others push towards B with the bomb, but the people going towards B aren't moving very quickly. The fake actually gets wrecked, and now it's just 2 players left against 4, and you sort of think, well, what do maeVe and Slap actually have to do? And you're looking at the scoreboard, you've got DeadFox, BARBARR, and Flashy with 5 kills between them. That's a little bit worrying, and, well, maeVe, who was actually top of the board, now gets taken down by bondik on his own. Not a huge amount he could have really done there, and no support from Slap? Where did I get the F from? From Slap. Oh, I got it from Flashy, I guess. But, yeah, it just has to save, so another round going the way of FlipSid. The money loss bonus has built up to a maximum now, 3,400, going to be into the hands of Escape, but it's not the money that they really need at this point, it's the rounds. But here we go, 8-2. Obviously a 4x coming in for the CT side, a Molotov and every single player is always nice to see. We're going to see a few Tech 9s, some nades forced up with the remaining players. DeadFox looks like he's saving possibly for an AWP in the next round if Slap were to lose his. And, well, already looking at 9 rounds potentially, unless we see something pretty impressive coming out. We're going to see WorldEdit miss the shot, but he just goes for that repeat. So much confidence. Slap will shut him down. But in the meantime, we're seeing some nice spray coming out from Blade. Again, another player who stepped up towards the major. And now we're going to be seeing him completely missing the shots. Have I jinxed him? The knife from BARBARR going to come in. That's a nice little bit of bonus economy. And Markelov now just going to shut him down. So, okay, BARBARR, you've had your fun. You've had your fun. Now I'm going to kill you. Most of my team still has over 10k, so your money's still not going to be as good as ours. And, well, is DeadFox going to pick up that AWP? It looked like that's what he was saving for in the previous round. Currently 1-9. It is always that sort of idea. And did you just see the Speedy Gonzalez chicken that ran past there? But, yeah, it's always the idea. I don't like to see an AWP sort of give up. Like, I get the idea it's a huge amount of economy, but if you are an AWP player and you start getting to the point where your confidence is low enough that even when you have the money you don't buy an AWP, that's when you have to start getting worried, even for the series. But aggression for WorldEdit gets punished. maeVe playing passively and maybe getting a little bit overzealous here, FlipSid. Obviously, 9 rounds on the CT side is already superb. They're going to be happy with how this is going so far, but they don't want to just hand away kills. This is normally a very close series, so giving any space to Escape wouldn't be a wise idea, and that's why Flashy BARBARR going to find 2 entry kills straight away. It looks like Markelov may be able to lose one of his lives this time, and there we go. Slap's going to take him down, and, well, Shara, well, they've got plenty of cash, but I feel like challenging a 1 versus 5, even with the low HP, is a little bit much. I feel like he may just have to save this one, which is fine, to be honest. Giving away a round. It's a clean one as well at the moment from the T side, so much better stuff. And it actually started with the fact that we saw an overpeak from WorldEdit. Actually, he's going to go and just pick up a nice little execute. Like, okay, guys, now you know where I am. I'm just going to try and do a little bit more damage, play with you a bit, see if he can find anything more. Obviously, there's still Slap, low HP, DeadFox as well. And, well, even Flashy, if he hits the headshot, that's going to be an insta-kill. So, nothing too much just yet. It looks like Shara could be coming in. He's going to go for a jump around the corner. And Flashy will punish him for it. So, 9-3. Escape at least getting back on the board. And, as said, 9-3. This is already great start from FlipSid. Still not over yet. We've seen incredible comebacks against them in the past. Mouse Sports, obviously, the one-man team, Nico, doing superbly against him in the major. obviously today it's actually been quite interesting. We've seen, I think it was Nex who actually stepped up and they managed to beat, was it Luminosity? I think it was Luminosity, yeah. In a great upset, so it is nice to see when players who aren't expected to step up do step up, or players who have been expected in the past, but when your team is known as Team Nico, it's always nice to show them that there's other players on the team. But anyway, we're going to see WorldEdit. This time, he is going to find that entry kill. Flashbang comes out, that blinds him perfectly. No support just yet, and actually we're going to see Blade just rush in to try and counter that kill. He gets taken down as well, and again, this is the A site in the hands of the T's. And I'm not sure we're going to be seeing a retake coming out from FlipSid. It is possible, but I don't think it's really necessary for them at the moment. As said, they've got a nice lead. Going for this would really just throw away a load of guns. They do definitely have the cash, but at the same time, you sort of want to be seeing them picking up that AOBP. The double AWP setup, we don't even know if that would have worked because it was just a straight A rush. And to be honest, Escape, all they really thought there was, okay, how did we win our last round? Okay, we pushed A. How about we just try that again? Like the sort of Virtus Pro old style of just, we're just gonna try the same thing again and again. And if you want to stop us, then go for it. But if you're not gonna stop us, we'll just keep doing it. And well, they did. They win the round. And well, they're not really hunting. They're going a little bit, having a bit of a look. But their economy still isn't great. There is only 2 rounds left of the half though, so I don't expect we'll see any more saves coming out from FlipSid. I feel like with the amount of money they currently have, but 5 grand, 5 grand, 7 grand, it would seem silly if they did it again. But let's see how they actually opt to go for this one. Obviously, Markelov now on the AWP seems a little bit interesting to me anyway. But considering he was what 13-1 or 14-2 with the M4, that's another sort of idea. It's like I'm top of the team, not using an AWP. Let's switch to an AWP. Again, could just be down to confidence, feeling like the AWP could be a good plan in this scenario. But well, let's see how it pays off. He is going to be going aggressive up towards Plat. Checking to see if anybody comes out the edge of the smoke, and he is going to push right through. It's going to be Shara to find the first kill, and actually we're going to be seeing Markelov completely blind. The flashbang's actually working very, very well for Escape. They've been throwing some brilliant pot flashes. They're actually completely blinding up their opposition, but I'm not going to be finding anything more just yet. Shara again completely blind, and Flashy doing a nice amount of damage. He does save himself with the smoke, but BARBARR's going to finish him off. bondik, however, is going to push him, find one, but this is still a 3 versus 2. WorldEdit with the AWP going to find one through the gap in the smoke. BARBARR, no way you're taking that risk. DeadFox going to clean him up, and this would be a great time for DeadFox to finish this round off with a triple kill. Will we be seeing 9-5, or will it be 10-4? Lovely from DeadFox. Calm, just pushes around the corner, and he takes the round nice and easy, and that's going to be a 9-5. Possibly 9-6, and to be honest, if they bring this back to 9-6, that's definitely a reasonable half considering how things were going at the beginning. You could do, as the chat would normally say, saved. There you go, saved. We notice you, don't worry. Casters do pay attention sometimes. Even if you are trying to troll me. But we're going to be seeing the push again. It looks like it's going towards the B site. The bomb currently down. Just checking to see if there's anybody going aggressive. Not switching too much up just yet. Although they are playing quite close, and I want them to play that tree position. I love the tree position. That nade could do a nice amount of damage if it lands. And Shara going to be finding the first kill. And it does seem that when FlipSid get that entry kill, the rounds normally go in their favor. It hasn't been too often in this game that we've been seeing the returns coming in. But in this scenario, BARBARR's like, no, I'm proving you wrong. I'm taking down 2. A 4 versus 3. 2 players rotated over. The bomb still not dedicated anywhere. BARBARR now will be traded. Flashy got to be careful. He doesn't want to give the advantage back. And, well, a very backwards and forwards round. At the moment, it's going to be DeadFox and maeVe. They're going towards this A site. They've still got the power of WorldEdit. They've got to destroy this very impressive AWP, and they line up. He hits one. Doesn't quite get the kill on the second, but this is going to make things impossible. 2 pop flashes out, and that's going to be a 10-5 finish. So don't forget, guys, make sure you check out our new sponsors. We do have Esports Pool. I've actually used them before, and for once that's actually true. Like a lot of the time when you're talking about sports, yeah, I use that one. I have actually used Esports Pool before. It's a cool little way that you can just play some esports, just go for the like little fantasy stuff and like apply, put your players in, choose who you think's gonna do well, just along those lines. I think most of you will know what that is. If you don't, now you sort of do. So I think you can type !ESP in the chat and that will bring up some sort of link. I'm not entirely sure what it will do. I've been told, like, tell them to type that in and you can tell me what happens. You can also do live cap as well, which is the sort of replay system, which again is something that's quite cool. Just say you're watching something, you like the idea of what's going on, you go, but I didn't get to save it. Then it takes like 60 seconds, I think. It takes the last 60 seconds and you can make that into a little clip. Both pretty simple things, like I'm sure most of you can get your head around that, but they're two new sponsors that we have. Thank you to them sponsoring, of course. This is the Star Ladder I-League Stage 2. So we've already seen both of these teams actually get through. Escape actually did it in quite a nice fashion. Like, they were very, very good. I think it was the first few games were actually played in this tournament. Once they became the Escape lineup, and they actually got straight through to the second stage. I think it was a very good best of 3. Was it against Ancient? I can't remember who they actually knocked out. But either way, I remember it being a very good game. I casted that as well. And, well, looking at this one, we're just waiting for the second half to begin. This is, of course, 10-5 FlipSid with an excellent start to this one. And, unfortunately, someone has to go to the toilet in the middle of the first map. Can you not? I don't want to sound like their mother, but you should have gone before you started. You should have gone. But don't forget, guys, also, if you do want to give me any criticism other than my microphone sucking, you can also type !caster and hopefully, fingers crossed, that will give you a link to my Twitter. And, well, as said, if you tweet me anything, I'll do my best to reply. Obviously, if you suck, I may just say nothing back, but just cry a little bit in bed tonight. But if you want to tell me what you think I can improve, that's actually very helpful. Like, a lot of people think criticism, I can't criticize a caster, that would be too harsh. No, please do. Please tell me what I'm doing wrong, what is great, whatever. And also follow me, of course. You don't get anything for that except for my pointless tweets and updates about my food. But yeah, do that. Anyway, back to the game. Pistol round number 2. We've got Blade picking up the nades. maeVe on the other side picking up utility, and again, 4 players on each team with Kevlar, WorldEdit taking it nice and slow, and well, again, A split maybe? Looks like we've got 2 players going in that position already. As said, you do normally see 4 players going quite heavily towards the B side, just because it is very, very difficult to defend, and actually quite difficult to retake as well. But going to be seeing DeadFox aggressive already. He's actually going to take down one, but WorldEdit will trade. So far, neither team really taking any real hedgeway into this game. We're going to be seeing the bomb drop down towards the middle area. Not really doing too much as of yet, but Markelov going to go down into drop down. And as said, it does look like the A-split is going to be coming in. Markelov will be taken down in the meantime, but WorldEdit is going to be the key kill here. If he can find this one to BARBARR, he could really take this round a little bit quicker, but BARBARR's buying a nice amount of time. He finds 1 and 2, and Slap in the meantime takes down the other. Brilliant stuff from BARBARR. He saves the pistol round for Escape, and well, this is the start they really needed, to be honest. They need to get into the position where they can just start fighting back these rounds, because as said, I do slightly favour the T side. It does depend on the team, though. Sort of like the Dust 2 sort of idea where it's like, oh yeah, I'd say normally 8-7 T side, but some teams are just phenomenal on the CT side. It's all down to how you practice, how good you are at certain positions, just the players themselves. So, and also individual performances on the day. Obviously, that can change anything. And WorldEdit is just going to absolutely destroy the aggression coming out from maeVe. Just like, oh yeah, did you not get the memo? Yeah, the CIS guys, we're really, really good with deagles. Have you not seen Simple? Well, I'm like Simple, and there we go. He just takes maeVe's head clean off, gives them a nice advantage in this round, and now, as you can see, the T's are actually slowing down quite a bit, because in most of these scenarios, the CTs will try and get these kills back. Obviously, I feel like it is normally better to try and just stay a little bit passive, especially when you have the gun advantage, and, well, all Blade has really picked up is an MP9, and, well, not to say anything about the MP9, but it's not the best weapon in the world. It can do some nice headshots, and Flashy's going to have to be careful, but drop down, now already taken over. We're going to be seeing Slap playing very close to what? Markelov with the jumping headshot, taking down Slap. We're going to see DeadFox return onto WorldEdit. No more 1Ds for him. Flashy finds another one, but Shara's going to push him with the Tech 9, and he's going to take over the site. There's only one player left facing in the wrong direction, and there's a high chance to actually get taken down from behind. bondik going to be finishing him off, and now DeadFox, 1 versus 3, and a brilliant round so far. That shot from Markelov. What? That's not in the game code. But yeah, we're going to be seeing bondik just finish him off now. The FAMAS has been dropped. I wonder if anybody's actually going to pick that up. No, they're not. They're happy with what they've got. The CTs, well, there's high potential that they may force into this one, but just because they're probably going to have to eco in the next one anyway. BARBARR is going along those lines, but the rest of his team are yet to make any sort of decision. It looks like he may be the one making the call, and thus he bought up beforehand. But we're going to see Flashy as well. He's picked up a kit too, so they are going to be trying to do something in this round. Quite a few deagles in their midst at the moment. DeadFox, of course, saving up for that AWP, so he's not going to be going for anything too flashy as of yet. He does still have himself. Yeah, you see what I did there? It was a pun. Yeah. DeadFox, of course, saving a little bit of money so they can get the AWP as soon as possible. And, well, at the moment it is just a slow round. Actually, we do see the FAMAS picked up. I will throw on that. Shara managed to get his hands on a FAMAS somewhere along the lines. Must have just been out of my eyesight when he picked that one up, but nonetheless, that's going to be something for him to play with in this round. It is an 11-6 scoreline. It's going to be difficult now for Escape to really make anything of this round. As said, a lot of these positions are very hard, and as you can see, they've completely stacked the A site. And, well, Shara Sood is just going to have a little bit of a look and go, ah, there is no one here. Guys, we should probably go this way. I feel like it's almost painful watching a round like this where you just know that they're not going to go this way. They throw out all these nades, and then they're like, oh, there's nobody here, guys. Yeah, we should probably just take the site. And, do you know what? What I actually want to see from this is a complete save from Escape, because they're going to have to do pretty much the same thing in the next round. If they try too much here and just throw away all these pistols, they're just going to be going for a straight up eco anyway. If they can find a gun or two, that would be nice. And DeadFox is going to take one down with the deagle, so there is a P90 on the floor. Not the ideal weapon to be playing with without armor, although that could actually be picked up in just a moment. Markelov still trying to make himself a little bit of money. WorldEdit in the same position. Of course, WorldEdit wants to get on that AWP as soon as possible. I think he's actually going to go down. So I was about to say I think he should have the money soon, but instead he's actually going to lose his Kevlar. And as said, you can just see from the positions actually coming in, it's going to be the CTs just trying to save as much as they can into the next round. Slap actually going to find another one in the meantime, and that's actually not bad for them. Considering what they were trying to do, they tried to stack, it didn't pay off. They keep themselves some weapons. They actually get a FAMAS as well. I'd like to see possibly like BARBARR take the FAMAS and then the CZ go to Slap, just because it would make a little bit more sense to have the person with the armor with the FAMAS. He's actually going to buy armor. Never mind, take it all back. But as said, it's going to be a full buy now pretty much, apart from Markelov, who has himself the P90, which in this scenario really isn't going to be too detrimental. Of course, the one reason you don't really want the P90 is because one-shot headshot isn't a thing, but in this case it will be, because none of them have any head armor. So, and also Markelov is also one of the players who absolutely loves the and this is basically just a little bit more damage, spray, persistent UMP that costs a lot more money, but of course he just picked it up, so no problem for him. We're going to see Shara pushing in Slap. That FAMAS did not go to use for very long. There goes the one rifle. That is down. We're now going to see the push from Markelov, and this is going to be a pincer onto the B site. BARBARR going to be finished off. And, well, the only thing you can really talk about here is for DeadFox, it may actually be worth just saving the extra Kevlar, because then he doesn't have to buy him the next round. He can grab it with the AWP. maeVe going to be taken down. And, well, obviously there's no point in keeping the MAC-10, but he's going to have, what, 5,400 in the next round. That is enough for Kevlar and an AWP, but he would lose the deagle as well. And I just sort of think, if obviously he gets a kill, great. If he just dies, I feel like there's not really that much point to what he's about to do. But let's see how it goes. Let's see what happens in this one. He hasn't also lost any armor, so he could just buy head armor as well. But that's their decision. Obviously, I'm not the master technician. I'm just using hindsight as my weapon. And the flashbang going to be coming out. They want to drop whatever they've got, clearly. And Flashy actually has a kit, Kevlar as well. Has he taken any damage to his? No. So, still hasn't actually. There we go. He's now he has, and we're going to see DeadFox dropped as well. So, yeah, not really sure what the point of that was. DeadFox, if he does go for an AWP, will now have to do it without head armor and any nades. He's actually going to go for an M4. So, yeah, I'm not really sure that was. I suppose if that was the plan from the get-go to not go for an AWP, then fair enough. But just from the amount of ecos, from the amount of rounds, if they do want the AWP out, it would have definitely been possible if he just ecos there. I know when you have a Mac 10, you think, yeah, I could get a kill, and then I'd have even more money. But instead, he ends up dead in the last second of the round. It's now 13-6. This is where Escape really need to get their game on if they're going to be trying to do anything in this map. Obviously, the next one is their choice, but DeadFox is going to be down and out straight away. The AWP didn't get bought, and instead he just gets wrecked while holding that M4. There is still one player over towards the A side that hasn't actually been spotted out yet, and that is maeVe. Is one player kind of watching in that position though, and bondik could catch him out very, very easily. Also, I think the call has been given to WorldEdit, and WorldEdit is just going to go and take his head quick. Like, yeah, you may be hiding behind us, but we know where you are. We're going to take you down, and now the bomb's slowly pushing over, and I think the CTs are just going to opt to save here, so definitely not looking too good for Escape. As said, we've seen some very close matches by them in the past. It has been said recently that FlipSid have become a sort of, I'd say anyway, a higher caliber of team. So it is interesting to see, okay, maybe they're finally showing that against some of these lower, or slightly lower teams. I don't feel like, when you look at the bets, and my personal opinion, I don't think that there's much between these teams. But in this match, for sure, there's been some things that have really, like, changed how it goes, especially, like, DeadFox. That you need, I don't know why he didn't get the AWP. I don't know if that was confidence or just he didn't want it on the CT side, but I feel like that on the CT side, it's such a good weapon to have. The long range there, he wouldn't have had to go so close. There wasn't any chance of him just getting flashed and wrecked early on. And right in this scenario now, the teams, they're just going to go for the hunt. They've got so much money to spare that keeping 3 or 4 players alive is definitely enough for them. Like, here, all that really means is they're just going to buy up that extra AK. No AWP needed as of yet, and, well, we're going to be seeing the buy coming out from Escape yet again, but this time with more nades, maeVe going to be dropped down to a FAMAS, but this is crunch time now. That save does mean that their buy is possible, but if they lose this round, they're going to be fighting with the loss bonus. That's pretty much about it, and they're so far down at this point. 8 rounds in a row needed to get back to a drawing position. 10 rounds if they want to win outright. And I just feel like this map may be a little bit too far gone for them. And just seen some excellent performances. Shara, again, playing very well over towards the plat area. Of course, it looks like every single player at the moment on this FlipSid lineup is hitting their shots. And when that happens, it doesn't matter who you're playing against. It's sort of the idea of, if you're arguably the better team, even if it is just slight, if all of your players are hitting their shots, then you should win. That's just, I know that's the most basic analysis ever in history, but at least the first kill this round will be going to Escape. We're going to be seeing Markelov drop. His KD slowly getting worse. We saw him at, what was it, 13-1? Where's that 13 KD? Come on, Markelov. That's what we expect with you. Now you need to get a ridiculous amount of kills to get 13 KD. I'm not going to try and do 13 times 8 off the top of my head, although it should be quite easy, and it is, in fact, 104. Something along those lines. Whatever. Mathematics was not my strong suit, as you can tell. That's why I'm casting CSGO. Haha! But Flashy, going to be weighing in the same position, going to try and stop this push. They are looking like they're going to be edging towards the B site. There is still 3 players here, but a nice shot from Shara makes the entry kill. A trade also finds one. BARBARR going to be traded out as well, and now it's maeVe and DeadFox on the retake versus bondik and Shara. Shara going to be holding the angle. DeadFox will take him down there. The bomb not going to be planted, and DeadFox going to step up in this round and find himself a double kill. And, well, this is one of the players that they need to be stepping up. Not managed to get his AWP out just yet, and there's no way he's going to be getting it out again. I imagine he could have dropped. There we go. He's going to drop one of his teammates, and that's going to be 14-7. The deficit is lowered slightly, but there's still an awful long way to go for Escape to bring this one back. Obviously, this is, of course, the best of 3, guys, so don't worry too yet if you have got your bet on the guys from, well, from Europe, I suppose. They are a mixed team. Got a couple of Bulgarians in there, Swedes, the Swedes, but yeah, going to be seeing what they can attempt to do in this round. Going to be playing, again, quite heavy towards the B side. Only one player currently over towards A, and that is DeadFox, down to a FAMAS, because he did drop an AK for BARBARR into this one. Not quite sure why. He has been playing pretty well. Never really understand why. Like, normally when you play, you drop the worst weapon to your teammate, but I suppose he just clearly has a little bit of faith in BARBARR with that AK at the moment. Still not really deciding where they're going just yet, but they seem to be so good at just taking over that drop-down position. It's been Markelov who just loves to just go, do you know what, I'm just going to jump straight in. There's not really anything you can do about it, and he's done it just again. This time he hasn't got the entry kill, though. FACEIT doing work with the P90. Then they're going to do a little bit to him, but nothing too major just yet. Nothing he should really be worried about, but if he does peek, he's got to be careful. Actually, he does catch them with a nade in his hand, but doesn't connect the bullets. And in the meantime, well, the CTs, they're just exploring their avenues over towards the A side. They've not spotted out anything, so they must still know that this is coming into this position. WorldEdit, he's going to go into the drop-down position now. They must know he's here, and he's not going to get taken out by the P90. Picks up a second kill as well, and now the push can come in. Slap hiding in the exact same position that BARBARR used last round, so Shara is going to be checking that one. And a round that was looking good for the CT side has completely fallen apart, and well, it's down to the point where they could save and go for something in the next round, but they really are going all out here. And DeadFox, he's got a player right above him. How have they not spotted each other? bondik going to be taken down. It was almost like they had their backs to each other, and Shara ripping the head clean off. Again, another great performance from Shara, 21-11. WorldEdit up there as well. And although Markelov has fallen off a little bit in the first half, he was absolutely superb. So you really can't knock anyone on this team at the moment. And definitely going to have to see Escape pick it up, because it does just like these teams were always on a par the last few times we've seen them play, and I feel like there's just a chance now that with this lineup slowly bonding more and more that FlipSid may have just stepped it up again. I hope that Escape do prove me wrong in the next map, but well, an awful long way to go. FACEIT at least going to be finding the first kill of the round. Markelov going to be dropped. We do have an AWP onto DeadFox, and he gets taken down instantly. So the first time that finally comes out, and he's not able to do anything up against WorldEdit. And I am just skeptical whether he's actually lost a little bit of confidence there, because I know WorldEdit is a superb AWP, but you would expect DeadFox to do more damage with the AWP in this matchup. That, like, just to think about that, that's the first time he picked it up on the CT side, and it was in a round where all of his teammates have just got pistols. It just doesn't seem like the normal sort of play you'd see from this lineup. You sort of expect him to have the AWP, and there were clear chances where he could have got it. He had 5,400 along the rounds, opted for a rifle, got absolutely destroyed. BARBARR at least going to find the tag. He's actually going to find WorldEdit as well, so at least he's hitting his shots. Going to be going for Shara as well. He'll finish him off, so some nice work with the AWP coming from BARBARR. If he can keep that into the next round, which is becoming more and more possible, that would be a great addition. Actually, maeVe's going to find another AWP, so a chance to completely change up their setup. However, the site in the meantime has gone to the T's. bondik going to go over aggressive, and now Blade. Surely this is not a possible situation for him. A 1 versus 4. Going to get a little bit of a tag, but nothing too yet. He does find the first kill. He finds BARBARR. Surely not. maeVe going to get taken down as well. This is not a round that they can afford to lose. They're losing so many players at this point. This is already bad enough. And Blade, he's just buying himself time. They're going to push together, though, and finally they close out this round. FACEIT should be able to go find himself an AWP, and that's, well, Slap's actually going to do that, but considering that was a 1v4, 2 players getting dropped, that's a nice amount of damage done, and of course the T's will be able to buy in the next round anyway, so that is going to be Escape now, 15-8. 7 rounds is the deficit. But this is still a very, very hard comeback to try and fight. They do have themselves a double AWP setup. BARBARR, DeadFox now being playing together. So this will be interesting. I imagine one will be going towards the A side now. I do think this is the right decision. And he does go for the entry kill. At least that's something. He's not shying away from those fights. So that's when you really have to be scared. If you see an aggressive AWPer or an AWPer who normally takes those peaks starting to back away, that's when you have a real problem, and that's when the map or the series could even spin out of control. So the fact that he's still going for those peaks is a good thing, but he's not connecting, which it does mean that there are slight problems at the moment. He needs to be finding those shots. WorldEdit going to be boosting up into this little hay area to try and find himself an entry kill, but not going to spot anything just yet. This does of course mean that there's now an AWP to each site, which is a decent setup on the CT side, and oh, a little bit of a late reaction coming out from DeadFox, not quite spotting that player quick enough. And well, the slow play coming in now from FlipSid. They were taking sort of higher risks just a few rounds ago with Markelov just going, do you know what, YOLO, I'm going to jump straight into drop down. Not doing it as aggressively just yet, although he is still there. one of the better players on the drop-down area. Obviously, for me, I always love watching JW just down there with the shotgun. But that's a nice die. And also, Slap almost gets caught out because his teammate has to back away. So a nice tag already. One player is low. DeadFox now watching towards the window. So Markelov could be in a little bit of trouble here. But it looks like we're just going to see another player drop down. It's going to be Slap actually finding that return kill. So that's actually decent from him. He was low on HP. bondik will find another one in the meantime. maeVe could be in a little bit of trouble here soon. He's going to spy the head of Blade and going to take him down. That's a nice kill coming out from him. Going to be dropping away, but WorldEdit will even up the scoreline. DeadFox going to be absolutely crucial. Oh my goodness. Do they know bondik's here? There's not much time left. He's going to find the kill. Surely the bomb has to be going down. No. DeadFox going for the no-scope. Oh, he finds the kill. Little bit lucky from him. And now a 2 versus 2. This is still possible for the CT side, but it has to be now. And they have AWP and an M4 to retake. BARBARR dropping his AWP. A nice kill from WorldEdit. Finds the first, and now it's all down to BARBARR. Shara going aggressive. He'll get taken down. And now the chance is there. But BARBARR has to go now. He doesn't have himself a kit. He has to try and make this play. And the position is decent from WorldEdit. He's got to be careful, though. And that's going to be the straight-up headshot. The kit will be picked up. And that should be the round now for the CT side. They will manage to clutch this one out. Very, very close. BARBARR going to find the defuse in a matter of seconds, and to be honest, that was literally down to timing. WorldEdit was holding that exact angle till the very last second where he turns away. So little bit of luck going the way, but they do manage to get the AWP. Their economy still isn't great though. We're going to be seeing not the best buy coming out from either of these teams. Markelov with the for me anyway, I don't think that's that detrimental. Here we go. WorldEdit going aggressive. Still has his AWP. Anything is possible with WorldEdit on the AWP, especially when he's hitting shots. Obviously, it is him and Shara up the board, top fragging at the moment. Not too far behind. We have bondik, and well, Markelov really has fallen off from what we saw on the CT side. Let's see. Hopefully, it won't matter too much at this point. They do just need one more round. He has the UMP, and I don't know if any of you watch FlipSid on a regular basis, but if you do, you know that Markelov UMP drop down equals kills normally. He is very, very good with that UMP, and just the additional movement along with the armor penetration, it just does work out for him. I don't know how. A lot of the time it doesn't make too much sense, but it's sort of like, this is the one position on the map where I feel like defending it is just horrible. Like, I don't know why anybody would choose to defend this part of the map. Going to be seeing another smoke coming in. Markelov going to be throwing out possible Molotov, and actually Blade's going to be finding the first entry kill over towards the A site. That's going to be DeadFox, who must have been going quite aggressive, actually. So, DeadFox getting caught out. Not an ideal start to the round. You have to remember, only one mistake, and that can cost them this map already. They've got 6 rounds to find to bring this to overtime, and Markelov a little bit antsy. We're going to see WorldEdit looking for that peek yet again. Going to be checking the corner. It will be Markelov, and well, Flashy just going to peek straight into that AWP. The flashbang going to be coming out. Will completely blind WorldEdit, but they know where BARBARR is now, and it's not the ideal position. Slap going to try and help him out here, but it's going to be Markelov to go down. BARBARR, Slap actually combining to find a couple of kills, and somehow they brought this one back into a decent position. BARBARR finding a double. bondik just going to be running straight out. He's got 2 players to find. Very little time. He's almost taking down BARBARR through the door, and well, maeVe, there's no time now, and he will win himself the round. Very, very close yet again. It seems like FlipSid are sort of just on the edge of taking each one of these rounds. Surely now they have to go for some sort of eco. May just rush, drop down, try and get themselves a little bit of kill, although Markelov, oh, he was facing the other way, so I'm not so sure, but looks like Escape have finally found their form. It's been 3 rounds in a row now. They have been very close rounds, though. That's the sort of thing you have to talk about. 2 players there, 1v1 in that situation. 2 players, one of them very, very low as well, but it has forced FlipSid onto the eco. DeadFox now with the going to be making himself some cash. 600 into the bank of the Fox already. Still have the players gathering up towards drop down. As said, this is quite a likely strategy on an eco round, but you have to see Flashy. He's got the anti-Kevlar machine, but he's not. He's going to get things straight away. He still finds 1, 2, and well, actually, Slap found the first couple, but the P90 did the work. Did a lot of damage, and well, only 2 HP. He's still going aggressive. He's got to be careful here. Although he's only got a P90 to lose, he is going to get his head taken off. But 4 players staying alive. That's decent enough for the CT side. 4 rounds. Got to remember that. It was 15 to 6. Or 7? 7, just moments ago. or 14-6. And now we're only 4 rounds away from going to overtime. WorldEdit. Wait, what? Shara? That's an M429, or M249 even. Excuse me? I'm guessing that instead of buying an AWP, he bought that. That's the only real logic I can see in this scenario. And I am looking forward to this round. Oh, God, he has the skill as well. I'm guessing that was from one of his drops, but... Shara completely destroying the rulebook of strategies. Something we have not seen. I can't actually remember the last time I saw an M249. No, because would that even be... That's not even on the side of the... No, the Nechev's the one that you would mistakenly buy instead of an AWP. So that would be instead of an SG. That must have been a really bad misclick. Or just... He's just going, you know what, YOLO, I'm going to try and do it with the M249. But I am tempted to just go with the Shara cam for this round. He's going to be coming up against an AWP on BARBARR. I know who I'm favouring in this scenario. Shara, of course. But it will be Markelov to find the entry kill. And is he going to get rid of that M249? There is, of course, a gun on the floor. No, he's confident. Flashy with the P90. Getting ready, but the build-up is coming this way. Blade going to do a little bit of damage. Nothing too much. We're going to be seeing bondik find one as well. It's Flashy with the P90 doing a nice bit of damage. Actually not going to manage to take down WorldEdit, though. It is a 3 versus 2, although one of those 3 does have himself a horrific weapon, and WorldEdit, Shara actually finding a kill. And, well, superb tactics coming out from Blade there, telling Shara to buy the M249. Yeah, about that one. But don't forget, guys, exclamation mark, live cam, well, live cap to bring that thing up. Esports pool. But the most important one, of course, exclamation mark caster, if you want to follow me on Twitter. Sellout mode activated. We'll be back in a moment. Make sure you don't go anywhere. And, yeah, enjoy the music. We'll be back with Mirage for map number 2.